The Ashes of Leviathon Tour, which is co-headlined by Lamb of God and Mastadon, and they are playing Ashes of the Wake and Leviathan in full, respectively, in celebration of the 20th anniversary of their releases that continues through August. Currently, they're in Canada before they come back down to the U.S., wrapping up in Omaha, Nebraska on August 31st. Malevolence is in support, but on select dates, Kerry King and Unearth will join the tour. Jason and I were at the Orlando date, and we're going to kind of talk about our experience now, kind of a mini tales from the tour. Jason, how'd you feel about it?
I'm bummed that I missed Malevolence to start with, but
I got there right when the gates opened, as I try to do all the time. It's hot as fuck. This is one of the hottest shows I've ever seen in my entire life.
Justin camps out at the venue and sleeps in a sleeping bag right outside the fence. So
Not
he's the first one.
Not quite. I just, I plan out accordingly with my GPS and make sure I get there in time.
You did a great job, sir. You did a great job.
So yeah, Malevolence is amazing live. I mean, they brought the heat right away. I mean, it was, like I said, hot, but they had the crowd moving.
Well, you said they brought the heat.
Big mosh pits. It was at the Orlando Amphitheater, the show that we've seen. So it's a concrete mosh pit. Not the most ideal surface, but
yeah, definitely.
It is what it is. After Malevolence, we actually got Kerry King. We didn't get Unearth, but we did get Kerry King. And this is the second time I've seen them. First time I was in the pit the entire time at Rockville. This time I was up pretty close to the rail. I was on Phil Demmel's side of the stage, so that was cool. I actually forgot he was even in the band until he walked out, and I was like, oh yeah, fucking Phil's in this band, and he's on my side of the stage. This
what
is
a
awesome.
Pleasant surprise.
Like I said, it's the second time I've seen him, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it both times. I'll say it here for the record. I feel like the Kerry King project does Slayer better than Slayer does. So, you don't have Tom Araya in there. You have Mark instead, and I don't know. I like his vocal a lot better. And you got Phil Demmel. I mean, can't go wrong. There's that Kerry King guy, too, that the band's named after. So, did you see any of Kerry King?
Yeah, we saw probably the last few songs.
You came in during Raining Blood, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we saw a little bit, but I mean, I saw the whole performance at Rockville, so I know they do their thing. They put on a good show.
Yeah, it was a great time. And after them was Mastadon playing Leviathan in full. I've never been a big Mastadon fan, although in prepping for this episode, I realized this was the 6th time I happened to see them. So they're up there.
Yeah, I mean, they sound technically they sound better than a lot of bands I heard. They're really incredible, the way they sound live. It's just that music is not the most exciting thing to see live.
It was, after you had Malevolence and you had Kerry King, it was just very boring.
Yeah, but it was cool to see them bring, they brought some cool, they had the cool lighting on the stage. They had a little bit of pyro. It was,
they had cool visuals going on behind it too.
Definitely stepped up the production a little bit. So that was cool because they've earned that for sure. So.
Did you see the videos of the rubber band mosh pit thing? It was like a neon band. There was 4 of them in it, and they were going side to side, crisscrossing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Awarded. It was pretty cool. Something different. I've never seen that in a mosh pit before. And the headline, the reason I went was Lamb of God playing Ashes of the Wake in full. What'd you think, Jason?
I think I'm glad I decided to jump on and go to this show at the last minute because I almost set it out.
I bought these tickets the second they went on sale, and I've been trying to convince you to go, so I'm glad you went.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't know what I was even thinking sitting it out. I would have missed probably the best Lamb of God show I've ever seen. So.
Yeah, this was the 10th time I've seen Lamb of God. The first time since the very first time that I was not in the mosh pit at all because we were up on the rail, and I just wanted to take it all in. And it was amazing. They sound as good as ever, and you're playing...
Yeah,
probably my favorite Lamb of God album.
Yeah, and some of those songs you just don't get to hear because they don't make the set list.
Blood of the Scribe. I mean, how often do you even hear One Gun or Break You? You just you don't hear Remorses for the Dead. And we got Ashes of the Wake. I've always wanted to hear that live. Yeah, they did not do any of the audio clips, but still to hear the instrumental section through it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing I thought was cool too was in between the two bands. Brandaler from Mastadon came out and was actually talking about how, all these years ago, that they had kind of made a joke because both of their albums came out on the same day and they were side by side on the shelf at Best Buy.
I didn't realize they were the same day until he was saying that. And that was cool. That adds a whole nother element to the tour.
Yeah, and he had kind of joked with the guys in in Lamb of God that, hey, if we're still around doing this stuff, like we should totally do this tour together. So the fact that they've both not only survived but thrived and become two of the biggest metal bands out there,
Hmm.
and they get to go and do this stuff together is pretty cool,
Yeah.
man. Pretty cool.
It was good stuff. It was a great show. Like I said, that tour is going on through August 31st. That's the last date. So if it's coming up near you, I do highly recommend going and checking it out. The Ashes of Leviathan Tour.